Wow, what a day. I said, let's do a live stream and talk about this because it needs to be spoken about all today. Everyone in the free world was talking about one thing and one thing only. Kawhi Leonard coming back. Then it was all Kyrie Irving. John Wall is going to get a buyout. Allegedly, they're working on the buyout now. It hasn't been done, completed yet, but it's going to happen. And once he clears waivers, his plan is to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. Assuming that is the case, let's say he does do this. This is what the problem that the Clippers have had. They haven't had a point guard. And let me tell you this right now. You still don't have a point guard. John Wall in his heyday, meaning at his absolute best, John Wall was clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the fastest basketball players with the ball. His problem wasn't a great shooter with the basketball. Then he developed a form of hitting threes and hitting jump shots. He worked on his jump shot. He got better, had some games where he would lighten it up. Then he fell in love with the jump shot. Playing with Bradley Beal, it was two shooting guards, no point guard. It's only when they brought in Ish Smith that the team started to make traction because they actually had a point guard who was on the bench. Ish is a true point guard. Now, the Clippers had Terrence Mann running point. They had a lot of different people running the point guard position. But it hurt them. When Pat Bev was running the point, they weren't getting the points from him. But Pat Bev is more for defense than he is for setting up offensive plays. Now, John Wall would be another scoring option that they have on the Clippers. Will it lead them to a championship? I don't think so. I think the Clippers already was in position to vie for a championship when you add Kawhi Leonard to the equation, because just from Kawhi Leonard's patience and poise is different. He could lead a team better than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant plays fast. He's an entirely different type of basketball player. He doesn't play with a patience. He plays in an aggressive style of going for the throat. Where Kawhi is more patient. He let the game come to him. And when the time is right, he'll make that decision to start taking it over. and doing what he feels he needs to get the game over with. I'm just hoping that they can stay healthy. See, you got to understand, when John Wall came into the league, John Wall was one that was brash, young, didn't want to listen, but eager. Very eager to get to the next level. Well, you got to understand that when you look at total picture, like big picture, you're thinking, how could this help your ball club? Plus, what about the Golden State Warriors? They're the champions of the division. Are you that much better than them? Are you that much better than the Dallas Mavericks? Are you that much better than all of these other teams that are in the West? How do you match up with them? The Utah Jazz is still up there. The Phoenix Suns is still going to be up there. How are you going to match up against these other teams in the West? The West is the strongest in the whole division. John Wall, a lot of them said that about John Wall. Once he got his money, once he got in the NBA, he didn't really take care of his body the way he should have, and tremendous talent, natural talent, but didn't take care of his body the way he should. Was drinking a lot. Started drinking a lot. They did one of those NBA care situations, bringing a young kid, having that kid in DC, was really sick and ended up passing away, losing their fight with cancer. And it took a toll on John Wall. And, he had to drink sometime to cope, because he really cared. When they would see the kid, it was a great story, but he actually vested a lot of time into that, wanting to see the kid get better, and to learn that, that child that passed away, it just took a toll on him. It was emotional. Something I don't think he really should. But the main problem is this. All of these woo, allergy season. These fake pundits like Chris Retard and all of these takes. Thank you. Appreciate that. This guy here. Good person, awful, awful. Since he then went into entertainment instead of journalism, even in journalism, I'm just finally glad they stopped him from talking about boxing. Because I had to correct him so many times on boxing, it was not even funny. I'm like, look, dude, You don't follow boxing. That's not what you do. Stop. And since he came over here and joined the Fox party, Chris Retard has been doing nothing but making the most asinine statements in the history of sports. And he tried to make it sound as if he's correct at all times, even when he's dead wrong. His theories, and he tried to back it up by using some stats. I hate when he says the only other players to ever do that was the Boston Celtics of the 1960s and Wilt Chamberlain and the Lakers. So that alone got to put him in the category. I'll be like, just because somebody did it back then, that's got to put him in the category because the Boston Celtics did it and Wilt Chamberlain was mentioned. So that puts him in the category. You know, it's so stupid. Anytime somebody wins an award that the media gives out, now that award now puts him ahead of this guy because now he's got third NBA all team. It's like, it's ridiculous. These analogies. Right now, me and Gilbert Arenas is having a back and forth conversation off I felt what was the dumbest statement he ever made. I said, just when I think you made the dumbest statement in the world, here you go again. Now we going to war over LeBron and Dennis Rodman. Now, anybody with common sense know that this is a dumb comparison because there's no way in hell LeBron James is going to be successful on Dennis Rodman. It's just not going to happen. But Gilbert Arenas is so into the media pundit world, he's just coming up with a scenario that LeBron James can do all these things that no other human being can. It's baffling to me. I'm like, are we watching the same game? I I told Jose, you gotta make sentences when you make your titles. You gotta stop using run-ons. They will not push your video at all using run-ons. Well, here's the thing. I try to tell people all the time, stats only do a part of the job. Look at Jason Tatum. He averaged 23 points a game. He averaged 8 rebounds a game and about 4 to 5 assists. Statistically, that looks great. But would you say he had a great NBA Finals? You watched the games. Do you think Jason Tatum played great? Tatum took a step back. I don't want to take nothing away from Wiggins, but that was more Tatum in his own head. Now, John Wall, back to that, because that's going to open up an even bigger door. Talking about John Wall. You see, John Wall, for a long period of time, buddy, John Wall was that guy. But injuries taking a toll on your body. To play this game at the level you need to play it at, you have to physically dedicate yourself and get your body ready. The reason why Steph Curry kept injuring himself early in his career, because his body physically wasn't ready for the strenuous NBA. He had to strengthen his ankles. He had to do all these exercises. He had to wear these braces because he naturally has fragile ankles, So he can't do those moves. He needs to wear those braces that protects his ankle. And they have been doing such a good job. I think that they need to implement that more in the NBA, period. You know what I hate? I hate when people ignore the facts. And thanks for the super chat, Alex. He said Jason Tatum broke the record for the most turnovers in a single playoff run this year. That tells you everything. Well, Jason Tatum, and I don't know, they might be showing you an ad right now. I don't know. They might be. I'm just saying. If they did, I don't know. I think they did. But you got to look at the total picture. John Wall has not been somebody who was taking care of his body the way he needed to. Now he's had about a year off from basketball. He hasn't played competitive basketball on a level in over a year. Like last season, he basically was sat out, was partially injured, got traded for, and didn't play a lick all last season. What's left in John Wall at this point? And people are stuck with John Wall being John Wall from 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. They're thinking that's the John Wall they're going to get, like it's a video game. The John Wall that we got that barely played with the Houston Rockets was not the John Wall that we were used to seeing, period. He was a shadow of himself. He wasn't John Wall. A lot of these entertainers or athletes are past their prime. That's beside the point. It's can your skills transcend over into your later years? Now, the way the game is now, it's easy to score. So you could easily fool anybody into believing you still have those skills. But being like LeBron James could play longer in the league because the league is going to allow LeBron James to be great. When LeBron can't get by somebody, they're going to call foul for LeBron. If LeBron drives to the rim and knocks someone over, they're not going to call offensive foul. They're going to allow LeBron to keep that status because they spent a whole 2 decades almost keeping him in that seat so they can make money off of him because he can sell it. He's going to shake his butt, dance, smile, and do anything for the props and cameras. He's that guy. If you want to make a movie about basketball, that's the guy you would use. He's the guy that would sell it. His skills don't sell it, but he sells it. So they have to try to make him appear to be something that he isn't. At least I got Gilbert Arenas to admit LeBron James has no moves. Okay, because if he was gonna tell me LeBron James had moves, we was really gonna have another conversation. The man has no moves. He has no bag. His bag got a hole in it. Now, you don't need moves when you blow by everyone. Who you talking about? John Wall or LeBron James? Because if you think LeBron James is blowing by people, you have to be out your effing mind. LeBron James blowing by people? This is not 2003 or 2004. LeBron James right now ain't blowing by any damn body. Who's he blowing by? Those days are gone. Exactly. This is a 39-year-old dude out here to the fifth power, old as hell. You trying to tell me he finna blow by a bunch of 20-year-olds. When you watched last year, all these 20-year-old and 19-year-old rookies was taking a piece of his hide every night. That dude got to hide on defense and stay in the corner and not move because he's trying to save it up for offense. He's been doing that his entire career. Oh, DJ Vlad. Oh, now he done got iHeartMedia in here trying to flag me on some old videos. Come on, man. I really. You want to on a Black Panther chat with Bozeman? Really? This what you come with? Because you know Vlad works with iHeart. He's not part of the iHeart family. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't make a video in 15 hours. 15 hours. Kobe didn't get that kind of love. See, Kobe had the Colorado situation. So they weren't trying to have that exposure. So they were going to have to submerge Kobe Bryant down and just let him be an average player. Kobe wouldn't let them do that. Kobe exploded on the entire league and was having the craziest scoring games you've ever seen, 60, 60. Even when the team wasn't good, he was finna shine. And you weren't going to ignore him. So while everybody's talking about all this other stuff, you couldn't ignore what Kobe Bryant was doing to the league. And even during the Colorado times, they didn't even want to cover Kobe Bryant's games. Like the 81-point game wasn't really even being shown on television. They had to cut and clip and go to the Raptors game because Kobe was on the course to score 80-something points. A lot of people don't remember that. Of course, he was the MVP that season. But they couldn't give him that award because of what happened in Colorado. That whole incident messed it all up for him to get his MVP awards. So when LeBron fans try to use MVP awards to determine who's better, it's moronic because it's a voting on, I go by the game. I don't go by one's take of awards and how many he got this many rings, this guy got one ring. A ring don't mean anything to me. I go by how you play this game. That's what determines who's the best. And if LeBron was the best, you wouldn't be screaming for anybody to come play and help dig him out of a hole. He could dig himself out. But since he ain't that type of player and he can't dig himself out, that's why you stuck with the guy you got now. Kobe, in all of his years there, has never had the team looking like what they look like now. This is the worst Lakers have looked in a very long time. Now, when they looked this bad, they didn't have this type of payroll. But when you have Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron James, and y'all was still losing with them on the court, come on. And all of these prisoners of the moment, this is what I can't stand. I don't like this prisoner of the moment mentality everybody has. They have this, oh, we have to embrace this. Oh, John Wall. Oh, this is it. This is going to change the dynamic. No, it's not. It's not going to change any dynamic. It's not going to make the Clippers any better or worse. They got another ball handler who can score. supposedly. How he fits in with Kawhi and the rest of the team, that's going to be determined. Can he stay healthy at this point? Can he stay away from gangbanging? That's going to be another key. All of these things here that you've seen on the horizon, on the table. These are the things that matter. But don't forget this too. Uh-oh. John Wall has never been clutch. Never been clutch. So that's going to fall on Kawhi. They were already better than the Lakers. Reggie Jackson, who was running your point, what are you going to say to Reggie Jackson? He going to come off the bench? Because Reggie played outstanding for you guys. Transitioning into a point guard, working with people like Rondo and all of these other people who was telling him, find the open guy till it's time for you to do your thing. Reggie really revamped his career. Won some big games and hit some big shots for the Clippers last year. Got them into the playoff. Now, the warning has been sent to the Golden State Warriors. Without John Wall, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George healthy, would have went to the Western Conference Finals to challenge either Golden State or the Dallas Mavericks. Next season, I don't have the Golden State Warriors getting past the second round of the playoffs. I just don't. I think the Clippers, I would say the Clippers are going to be in the Western Conference Finals if healthy. Everything depends on teams being healthy because plans change once injuries happen. The Phoenix Suns wasn't supposed to go to the NBA Finals. If Kawhi Leonard doesn't get hurt, the Clippers go to the finals and they win the championship over Giannis, or they lose to Giannis, either which way. But that was supposed to be the finals matchup, not the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns got there because of the Kawhi tore his ACL. After completely dominating the Utah Jazz. Mm-mm. No, what you're starting to notice is that there are a lot of people out here who are just pure shooters and pure defenders. And today is a pull-up jump shot game. It's Euroball. John Wall game is speed. John Wall can handle the ball. He could do a lot of different things, but John Wall game is speed. He was the fastest with the ball. He's not the fastest with the ball anymore. I'm not saying it makes them better. I'm not saying it makes them worse by adding John Wall to your team and losing nothing to get him. So you didn't have to trade to get John Wall. You didn't have to do all of these different things. And having Reggie Jackson, come in for your second unit or whatever. Plus, if he gets hurt, you're good. You still can do the things you need to do. John Wall working with Kawhi Leonard and all these different guys about, you know, trying to simulate games and getting yourself back into shape and continue to, battle with these other younger players in the league. There's guys that's former NBA players that you haven't even seen play or average 3-4 minutes a game that can light it up and actually play this position. But John Wall's a turnover machine. The Clippers are a very disciplined team and don't really turn the ball over as much. And that's why you want to always make sure you keep guys on your team that is very crafty at not turning over the ball. This is why the difference from this age and era versus the 90s and 2000s. Guys didn't turn over the ball that much in a game. You might see 6 in a game. You're not seeing 16 turnovers in a game. And guys are still in the ball game. If you turn over the game 16, turn over the ball 16 times in a game, you might as well, that's a wrap. That is a wrap. Well, John Wall has improved on 3-point shooting, not jump shots, 3-point shooting. That's what they have focused on. And John Wall has been working with C. Brinkley, getting, all the stuff going at the rim he could do all day, every day. So now he wants to get that 3-point set shot down. That's all everybody wants to do because that's the game now. It's all stand still, shoot a three. Nobody's on anybody anymore. This is the Euro style of basketball. See? It's all threes. I mean, what do you? He still could go to the Lakers. If the Lakers would just have to. It's just harder to do now. But do you think he was going to give up? He was going to give up $30 million? John Wall is who we thought John Wall is, and what he's going to do. John Wall is fast with the basketball. He can cut, he can move, he can do all of these things. Can he stay healthy? He doesn't have that explosion anymore he used to have with the ball that made him incredible. because he was so quick with his cross. Zip! His initial first step was like lethal. My thing is why he didn't join the Los Angeles Lakers. They could have got him for cheap. Why did the Los Angeles Lakers? Because John Wall was signed with Clutch Sports, LeBron James agency. Remember? That's a clutch man. That's a man that's clutch. That's clutch. They need a point guard. All the fans right now, prisoners of the moment. Oh, the Dallas Mavericks are in trouble. They just lost a very key component. They just lost Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is signing with the New York Knicks. That's going to be great for the Knicks because he's a scoring two guard, but he can play the point, and he's somebody who can get a basket and get you a shot. That actually is a good pickup for them. I mean, I would have rather them had Brogdon. I know they probably would have wanted Brogdon on their team. I think the Lakers still kind of want Malcolm Brogdon to be that point guard that they need, somebody with poise who could play that position quite well. He played under Jason Kidd. But if anybody wants Malcolm Brogdon, it's Jason Kidd over in Dallas. Have his rookie of the year back. You got rookie of the year playing with Kidd. Kidd worked on him on how to play the point guard position, what to look for, and really coached that kid. And now he's a great example of what you want a point guard to be. Not really. Brogdon can play. He don't really have that many injuries. Nothing that really set him back. But yeah, everybody's starting this thing like, oh, I want to play with my buddy. I was talking to him. We gonna go play over here. We gonna see if we can play together. It's like, dog, look, do that on your time. People got a team to run. You know, when they pay you these multi-millions of dollars, it wasn't so you can hang out with your buddies. That wasn't the plan. I'm not running a daycare. Man, I had a wild dream last night. One that I couldn't wake up from. I had a son that I didn't know about with an ex-girlfriend who wasn't really an ex-girlfriend. She was just like a girl I messed around with for a minute. And boy, that dream got insane. It was like, all right, found out that I had the son and he came over and was meeting everybody. And, and he's over at the house right now, hanging out with everybody, getting to know him. And then She wants to put up this custody battle. He can't come over no more because she saw my friends. And we was all deep in the car when I came over there to see him. Like, I don't want him hanging around this group of people, and don't contact me. Like, I'm not trying to get back with you. What is she talking about? Like, we got a kid, so I'm like, nah, I gotta sue. And I got my mother involved in this. My mother flew in and meet him and all kind of stuff. It was crazy. And I'm like, why am I having this dream? This is a nightmare. That means it's time to go buy more prophylactics. Keep that dream at bay. Keep that dream at bay. I mean, Michael Bay. Blow it up. Boom. Now back to the moment at hand. Well, people got to realize that you have to be careful of what you ask for because you can get it. You can get it. You can get it. Be careful of what you ask for because you can, and usually you get it. Let's just say I don't have a green thumb. See, I'm trying to fix this hole with this damn rabbit was digging up. Get it nice and broken up. Then I'm gonna come in, put some of that grow now stuff on it. When you put that grow now on it, I command you to grow. Grow! See no gardening. Of course, you seen that? I got a cherry tree, fruit tree, berry tree. I got all kind of it growing. Got greens. I'm just not a green thumb guy, but I can seem to get it popping. Got my taters. All right. Where do I want to go with this? today. Bam. Lay it out right there. There you go. Get some water going in. Get some water. Now, like I was saying, the Lakers still could get Kyrie Irving. But, as I told you, he ain't going nowhere. Because you still got Russ on the books, who's opted in for $36 million. So if you got him for $36 million, what the hell you gonna do with Russ? Why do you have Russ? If you got that man for $36 million, what the hell you doing with Russ? You can't afford it. None of the teams could afford really to hit all the teams that Kyrie wanted to go to. So he would have to forfeit $30 million to go play for the Lakers for one season. How would that benefit him? John Wall is a poor shooter. He's improved on his shooting when he came into the league, but that was his scouting report. He was a poor shooter. See, you're looking at the numbers again, Christian. What we're saying about John Wall, you're talking about him scoring 20 and 7 in Houston. Nobody gave a damn about Houston. So you can score 20 and 7 easy in Houston. Who the hell cares if you score 20 and 7 points? That's like telling me somebody in OKC he averaged 30 points. Nobody was really giving a damn. They were playing OKC. See, you know when all those players go to another team and they could barely score 13, you be damn. Man, he was killing in OKC. Why? Because they're a losing team. Coaches don't give a damn what you do. Be coach. Did you see him? Man, he took another shot. Stop. Let him shoot the ball. Coach, he's just trying to keep his job for as long as he can. John Wall, mid-range is suspect. He's improved his three-point shooting, but they don't really need that. What they need is a person who can manage being on the floor with all of these other stars and can facilitate. See, Reggie Jackson don't have an ego anymore. Reggie now knows that this is my life. This is Reggie Jackson's life. And I'm going to be Reggie Jackson until I'm not Reggie Jackson no more. This is my new wave. Because he was going to be out the NBA. Reggie was out. Nobody was looking for Reggie Jackson. He was out the league. The Clippers gave him his last and final shot. Completely redone, revigorated, and re-seen as an entirely different player. what you want to do. Thanks for the super chats. I appreciate it. And thanks for everybody who hit up the cash out, man. I appreciate that. Because I didn't even tell nobody yesterday, and they did it anyway. Just to show love. The cash app is Carceno. Karceno. In case you didn't know. I never understood that, to be honest. I never understood another person's desire to want to go at somebody else. You feel me? When you know the problem is you. That's like Jason Tatum blaming somebody else on the Celtics for his play. Like, I would have got off if he wasn't in my way. Like, what? Bruh, you was in your way. Nobody was in your way but you. You was in your own way. Oh, salute, Dangerous Mind. But you notice that, right? Everybody loved Kyrie Irving. Oh, Kyrie. That's what they all say, right? Oh, Kyrie this, Kyrie that. Oh, Kyrie going here. Kyrie, he's mad. And I told y'all what? I said Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving will be on the Brooklyn Nets next year. It's all negotiation. I made one video on it. And you got people making 45 to 15 videos about Kyrie Irving, what happened today. Kyrie was on the road sitting with LeBron in the car. All kind of goofiness has been happening. And whether y'all find that is entertaining, if there's no real new information to give, then I'm not going to really give it because there's nothing new to talk about. No new development. So that's why I haven't said anything. I said what needed to be said on that video. Nothing changed from that point. I said it's a negotiation ploy. What Kyrie wants is to get a 4-year, 5-year deal. What Brooklyn wants is for him to opt in, and they want a smaller term deal, 2 to 3. If he gets 4 or 5 years, they want it with stipulations. But they're not going to do it until he opts in. You're not gonna not opt into your 36 million and have that deal done. No, that wasn't gonna happen. So he had to opt in, and they can negotiate it, or he could find some team that want him. Because nobody really wants Kyrie Irving for the price. He's too expensive. Because not that, oh, we don't want Kyrie Irving. Anybody would want Kyrie Irving, but it's for the money. They don't have the cap space because you're going to have to take Kyrie Irving. You're not looking at somebody like OKC. He ain't trying to go to OKC. Because if he was trying to go to OKC, that's very easy to do. He wants to go to a team that could contend, but he wants to get paid. Now, the problem I seem to have is with people like Stephen A. Smith, who should know better. They should know this isn't the way to go. the route they've been going in. They've done nothing but basically harass Kyrie Irving. Yeah, the whole time, just harassing Kyrie Irving. And for what? What are you going to get out of it? You've harassed this man. You've made his father feel that like, okay, this is a bad idea, like, but what the media is doing is they're building a hate train for somebody. You building scenarios where players can get attacked and hurt by civilians on the street who watch what you do and look at you as if you know what you're doing or what you're talking about, and that it's real. They don't know that once the buzzer hit and you go home, you don't care about none of the stuff you just said or did. You don't stand by it. Stephen A. Smith gets paid millions of dollars. Nothing is affecting his bottom line, so therefore he does not care. That's just the gist of it. He doesn't care. And as long as he doesn't care, then this will be a moot point. Justin Fields, he's doing all right, I guess. From the reports I'm hearing is he has good days, he has bad days. But you got to look at it. How much veteran talent do we have around him? What weapons did they get to build around him that can help him mold him into a great quarterback? Who does he have as a quarterback coach that's going to work with him? What do we have? Not much, if anything. Oh, my buddy got some Laker news to tell me. He says he should have some Laker news. He said he was going to have it Monday, but he didn't have it Monday. He didn't call me back. And see, I don't bother him. If he gives me information, it's cool. If he don't, he don't. No video I've done has gotten that man in trouble. Turn off my Wi-Fi? Why do I need to turn off the Wi-Fi? There are a lot of people in this world, man, that just don't get it. They see the news, they see all of the garbage that happens around the globe, and they start making their own estimations as to why things are why they are. Right? Oh, all I gotta do is do this. I ain't gotta really be out here. See, I can do it like that. How the water do that. And I'm back in the crib. I'll be back. He gonna fill in for me while I'm gone. And that's that. Water in the grass day. Dennis Rodman can't coach. Dennis is not, he don't have the temperament to be a coach, is what I mean. Like, his knowledge of the game, yeah, by far. But the temperament, that's gonna be the problem. With Dennis, you have to deal with the temperament. Because Dennis, a coach, and get bored. And one player get in Dennis' face, Dennis is gonna kick them and hit him in the mouth. But Dennis can coach the game. You remember when he was in North Korea, that's what he was doing. He was coaching the team on how to play basketball. When he wanted to get with the dictator over there in North Korea. And you see how America came after all of the athletes that went over there, actually blaming them. Why you guys aren't trying to free that guy? Like, huh? So now you want athletes to be politicians? What? Then, once Dennis Rodman gets Trump introduced to the dictator, Dennis Rodman was then a genius. He then was revered, right? He was ahead of his time. Because the president of North Korea, or the dictator, knows one thing. Dennis Rodman is uncorruptible. If I can trust any American in the face of the United States of America, the only man I could trust fully is Dennis Rodman. That man will never betray me. He's loyal to a fault. But as long as you're doing right by Dennis, Dennis sees past everything. He ain't gonna follow status quo. He ain't gonna follow your agenda. He's gonna be Dennis. Through and through. Oh, salute to Rod. Rodzilla, baby. So, anyway, on that note, I'm out. I'll holler at y'all later. Deuces.